Hello everyone, this is Freyia and welcome to a new episode of A Discovery of Nordic Witchcraft. In this episode we are going to talk about how to speak to the gods. Earth codes are sounds, patterns that all creation emits, and within them is encoded healing energy, thoughts, presence, identity, essence, and imprinted emotions. When all of this is put together in a series, I call it Earth Language. Everything emits an energy, a sound pattern, even words. But our words are only 10% of the energy we transmit. Everything else is codes. Earth language is the language of the gods. Each god will emit codes that sound like the energy that specific god represents. Some practitioners will speak those codes, some sing them, some sign or draw or write them, some will simply gesticulate them. I would describe earth language like a luminescent language because that is how it appears to the inner eye as the practitioner is speaking, humming, chanting words that are literally on fire and really lit with gold. The communication might not sound like language at all. The language of the gods does not have words. It sounds, colors, and movements. The gods all have distinct dialects, so to speak. How do we then learn to talk that language in order to communicate with the Norse gods? Decide the entity you want to communicate with. Head into its element. For Bjegga, the Sami wind god, we will choose a windy place. For Freyia, you will choose a dark forest. For Frigg, you will choose a fireplace or a fire pit outside. For Odin, you will choose old ancient sites, places with lots of memory. For Eir, you will choose a place with many birds. For Gabba, you will choose a rocky place, and so on. Listen to the sounds or observe the energy patterns of the place representing the god you have chosen to establish communication with. Start with copying the sound with your voice. It will feel forced in the beginning. It will have you laugh. That is all ego controlling patterns. Let them happen and do not judge them. They will pass, as the roots of our souls are way deeper than the shallows of our egos. Let what is in your chest come out. Maybe it will be a chant or syllables or a strange sequence that comes out, and there is nothing scary about it. It is the embracing of who you are and what that god or goddess is. The language of the gods is a language we can all learn and channel. We can then choose to distribute its sound or energy to convey messages that are interpreted by the heart and that speak familiarity to our soul rather than to our programmed hearing and brain. This allows us to consume information differently by expanding our senses. The earth language has been used for centuries across all traditions, including shamans, Nuaidi of Scandinavia. They called this language yoik. Earth language varies from activator to activation. It can sound like animal sounds, clicks, pulses, tones, songs. It is not a language like we know it. It is a tonal, a frequency that has a healing effect and supports our cellular matrix to energize, become whole and complete. That is the state, the only state where communication with the gods can happen. The language of the gods is based on frequency and tonal vibrations, so it's vibrational medicine at its best. It literally shifts our current cellular status and introduces new vibrational qualities to our cells. This language offers ancient wisdom. Receiving the sound signature of this or that god or higher consciousness, divine beings, requires an opening in you to be able to even catch a whiff of their power. It provides a powerful transformation in mind and body. You see, you can code your body directly into the gods. The energy words indeed are to be used to code your body directly into a specific god, goddess, or entity. Transposing these sounds would cause them to lose their energy, which is similar to the symphonic song of a musical masterpiece transposed out of its original key into something else. This opening in you is a place that in Sami is called Diran. So Diran is what the Nuaidi calls this special trance space where that communication can happen. Diran is a place where there is no barriers, no blocks, no reserves in you, and transit can happen. There, the sound, the language of the gods can move and travel freely in and out of you. As I said in previous films on this channel, I use click sounds to take me to the spiraling state and space called Diran. To go to Diran, you need some kind of transportation. Antlers are my favorite means of transport. They are literally my steed. The movement of the antlers and the repetition of that movement is what opens the gates of Diran. Diran is a place that knows no fear, no shame. It's a place of purity. It's the wild place within us and all around us. The only place where communication with the gods can happen. You see, the energy of Thor is tied to his weird thread. If you learn to communicate with its element, thunder, storms, there is no way that Thor will not talk to you. You see, the lore is not the end all. And if you feel you need a book to provide you with all the answers, well, then you're not trying hard enough. Remember, we need to forge our own paths. And to communicate with the gods, we can use whatever method of communication we want. Today, I just shared mine.
I spend most of my time viewing world